afternoon, South Carolina. Thank you for tuning in to IE News, where we give you the latest in issues in education. I am Lisa Turner, and today's segment will be on child abuse and neglect. Child abuse and neglect is a problem that cannot be ignored. It's on the rise, and it's a war against our children that we can put a stop to. Because we focus on issues in education, we put great emphasis on the fact that teachers can make a big difference in the lives of these kids. Teachers tend to make greater impacts on these children than they actually think that they do. The teacher's smiling face or a hug may be the only signs of affection that these students receive. It is important that we speak out and pay attention to the signs that these kids are showing us that there's something in their homes that isn't right. Child abuse and neglect, it's all around us, and it's more prevalent than we think it is. Let's take a moment to watch this short clip about the prevalence of child abuse and neglect in the United States. Special thank you to our IE News production team for making that clip for this segment. And now we'll turn to my co-host Tony Dabo, who will give us more information about child abuse and neglect and some signs we should look out for with students who are experiencing abuse and neglect at home. Tony?
Thank you, Lisa. Every 10 seconds, a report on child abuse is made. Every year, over 3 million reports of child abuse are made in the United States, involving over 6 million children. The United States has one of the worst records among industrialized nations, losing on average 4 to 7 children every day to child abuse and neglect. Educators will come across students experiencing abuse and neglect at home. Teachers noticing that something is wrong can be the first step in getting that child help and providing the child with an out from the situation. Educators need to pay attention to the signs of abuse and neglect that students may be showing. Some signs to look for are students with injuries, students that are withdrawn, students that have trouble concentrating, students with higher stress levels and lower self-esteem, and students that have an excessive need for control. Also, abuse and neglect are often accompanied by parental substance abuse. I'm here with special guest Jaleesa Cody, the author of the book The Boy with the Purple Mark. Jaleesa, tell us what this book is about.
The Boy with the Purple Mark, it tells the story of a young boy who's in elementary school, and he was experiencing abuse at home, and it shows how just people paying attention to their surroundings, things that's going on around them, with the little girl who just noticed that Johnny was crying behind the playground and stuff like that. Just people noticing that things are going wrong. Um, it really shows that we can make a difference in a child's life. So in the story, the little girl notices something's wrong. She tells the teacher. The teacher starts paying attention, and eventually the child gets out of the home that they're in and eventually gets adopted into a family where they experience a bunch of new things where they're being loved and taken care of and stuff like that. And it really just shows that we can really just make a difference in the lives of these kids if we just pay attention.
Sounds like a story for, like you said, all of us. But I want to ask you, where did your increased interest in child abuse and neglect come from?
My increased interest really came from one of my friends, actually. She's a teacher, and she told me a story similar to the one that I wrote about. In her classroom, there was a child who, she noticed marks on her body, stuff like that. And she really wasn't sure what to do about it because she didn't know, was it just them falling on the playground or, stuff like that. And so she really just took note of it and spoke up about it, even though she didn't really know what was going on. And eventually, because she said something, they found out that that child was in a home where, circumstances weren't what they should be, stuff like that. And that child eventually got out of the home because of the teacher. And because of that, it really made me think that, these teachers can do it, so can we. I'm just an author, and I feel like, if I notice these things, I can make a difference as well. And it's really just crazy the impact that abuse and neglect have on these children. There was a study where 80% of 21-year-olds who have on record that they have been abused when they were children meet the criteria for at least one psychological disorder. So it's pretty much, it's crazy the impact that they have on these kids. So that's where that comes from.
See. Well, other than educators, like you said, who else do you believe can help with this ongoing issue?
I think that we all can. Educators, parents, friends of parents, just anybody. The main thing is that we have to understand the issue, and some people call this abuse and neglect thing, they call it a hidden epidemic because, so I guess, if you're not really experiencing it, a lot of us don't even think about it. So, if we recognize it and realize that it's actually this huge deal that we're just not seeing like we should be, then any of us can really make a difference in this issue.
See, well, thank you for being with us today. I hope our viewers enjoy your book as I did, and I hope it makes an impact on all of them. So, Jaleesa, a little off topic here, but I've just been dying to ask. Management has been pushing me to ask you this. Our viewers want the answer to this question. We all know that you're an author, but rumor has it that you're about to release a music video. Where did this idea come from?
Yeah, I am releasing a music video. I actually produced this music video. Really, it just came from, people like to read, but not everybody likes to read. And I think that this whole abuse and neglect situation, I feel like it's really important. And so my goal with the music video was the people that enjoy music and enjoy just watching music videos and stuff like that will still get the same message as those people reading my books. without actually having to read my books, because, you know, not everybody enjoys doing the same thing. And I just wanna hit every type of audience that I can, you know, in any way that I can. And that's really why I decided to produce a music video. It was completely out of my comfort zone, not really what I'm used to, but something that I was gonna try. And we'll see how it goes.
See, so should we expect a little, or what?
Um, maybe, but you know, not for me. Not all about that.
Understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's all cool, but you know, I don't have any rhythm, so I can't really. I can't do it.
Well, looking forward to this music video.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony, for that wonderful interview. And thank you, Jaleesa, for taking time out of your day to come speak to us. As you heard from the interview, Jaleesa is producing a music video. Let's take a look.
DirectBeats.com.
All my life, man, I was pushed to the back. My peers never recognized that I was being attacked by a demon, not a father. He only wanted a snack, but the drink that comes along is the demon that brings the smack. Across my face are the bruises on my body. No one knew the struggle of trying to push him off me. God, he didn't need a beer, I wish he only wanted coffee. I hated hearing him scream, get up boy, try to stop me. Couldn't focus in school and I was striving for control. I would flinch just from hearing my name called on the road. It's not my fault, it's from him yelling and throwing his punches. It's like he gets excited by hearing the way my body crunches. My lunches were nothing, so I stole other kids' lunches. Imagine seeing a world of fun but not being able to touch it. Then my life changed cause my teacher took a stand. She saw my low self-esteem and unsteadiness in my hands. She saw my wounds and didn't let me escape it. She told the police it's enough, she couldn't take it. I was afraid to pose my dad, but there wasn't a way to fake it. So I knew when we seeing each other in court, I knew it was time to face it. My countdown in hell was finally a 0. And that one teacher that spoke up will always be my hero. And for any other teachers, let my story be a call. Speak out when you see hurting children walk down the hall. Cause you have no understanding of their life, and you cannot make an inference. Just tell somebody please, cause I promise that you can make a difference.
Thank you for watching IE News. Tune in next week for our segment on teenage pregnancy. I'm Lisa Turner.
And I'm Tony Dabo. Stay classy, South Carolina.